Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahiyam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinbandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Taptakancan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishbhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priyai. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Welcome to Understanding Gita in 18 days, chapter 16 today. So we have 2 more days after this. Okay, so let's talk about today's overview. The divine and demoniac nature, Deva, Asura, Sampad, Vibhaga, Yoga. Let's pay our obeisances to Shri Radha Govinda before we go ahead. This is what we did yesterday, Purushottam Yoga, the yoga of the Supreme Person. Krishna describes this material world as a upside down banyan tree and describes the intricacies of the banyan tree and then ultimately gives the instruction become detached. From verse 1 to 5, Asanga Shastrena Dhridena Chitva. And then he also describes how a living entity is transmigrating from one branch to another branch of this banyan tree. Just doing that. From verse 6 to 11, Pashyanti Jnana Chakshushaha, who has a knowledge, the vision of knowledge, who has the knowledge can see all this. Others may try, but they will never be able to see it. Then we studied Krishna as a maintainer of the gross body, of the subtle body, and of the soul, from 12 to 15 verse. Vedeshcha Sarver Ahameva Vedyo. And then summary of the Vedanta Sutras from verse 16 to 20, Iti Guhya Tamam Shastram, where I discuss Sambandha Avidya Prayojan and also the weakness of the heart. 20th verse, purport. Prabhupada writes the weakness of the heart. This is today. Transcendental and demoniac qualities. There are only 2 types of people all over the universe, not only on earth. Everywhere, all planetary systems, there are only two kinds of living entities. One is called Sura and one is called Asura. Sura is a living entity with transcendental qualities and Asura is a living entity with demoniac qualities. This is described in the first third of the chapter from verse 1 to 6. And then the nature of the demoniac person, the symptoms, by what is one is called demoniac and by what is one called the Sura or the Devata or transcendental quality. It's not that one has to grow red hair and have big horns or big teeth or big nails. It's the quality. From verse 7 to 18, and then results of demoniac qualities or demoniac activities, and then we have a choice. See, every chapter we are getting a choice. Human being has a choice of elevation or degradation. Animal has no choice. Okay, so these are the qualities which make one a Sura. Quality, not birth, not the country of origin, the quality that a living entity has. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy, and the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O Bharata, belong to godly men or godly men endowed with divine nature. Okay, so these are the qualities that a human being is supposed to acquire in if a soul gets a human form of body. Every varna and every ashrama have their own specific quality, which is more prominent. Everyone should have all of them, but one particular varna or one particular ashrama is supposed to have one quality more prominent. For example, Srila Prabhupada gives a big purport to it, and he spends a lot of time explaining each and every quality. Fearlessness. If somebody is a sannyasi, they're supposed to be fearless. Because a sannyasi is supposed to live alone. Sannyasi is supposed to travel alone. If somebody has this, somebody has this doubt that how will I carry on? If I leave my family, if I leave my country, if I leave my society, then how will I carry on? Who will take care of me? then that person should not become a sannyasi, not ready, fearless, abhay. So, just taking shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. Purification of one's existence, again, more prominent for sannyasi. Everyone should do that, but more prominent or most prominent for sannyas ashram, sorry. Cultivation of spiritual knowledge. Sannyasi, but brahmachari is also supposed to do that. Brahmachari is supposed to sacrifice its hearing power. A real brahmachari is a brahmachari who does not hear anything other than Krishna. Nothing. They are closed to everything else in the whole world, in the entire creation, just about Krishna. That's a brahmachari. Charity. Charity is specifically for grihastas, because grihastas are people who deal with money, are sure to commit something sinful, because that is the nature of the money in this particular world. So if Grihastha does not give charity, then they become very hard-hearted, very, very hard-hearted, because then they go on accumulating assets for their own sense gratification, and there's nothing for Krishna. Prabhupada says in one of his lectures in Vrindavan, I think he was watching someone. It looks like that when I hear the class, or that people earn a lot of money in their duration of life, but when they retire and they come to Vrindavan, they come empty handed. Hey Krishna, I have come now. Okay, where is the money you earned? Well, I have come, that's enough. What, you have come? Where is the money? That person is really not come. That surrender is not there. Okay, the surrender includes everything that one has. Not like Rupa Goswami Prabhupada gives us the principle how we can divide our wealth. He said 25% for 50% for Krishna consciousness, 25% for personal emergencies, and 25% for the subservients or the relatives or family. If one is not doing it, then it is very hard for them to get out of the entanglement. There is attraction. It keeps us bounded. Now, the other question can be asked, then whom to give charity, because everyone is a cheater. That we will discuss tomorrow. The charity is also in the three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And the charity has to be given to a proper place, person, and proper activity. Self-control, again, grihasthas. They self-control have, grihasthas have this license for sense gratification, right? Because they are dealing with the material world and its energy, and there is so many things to do, but they are told to do the self-control. Performance of sacrifice, again, grihasthas are supposed to perform the sanskara ceremonies. Study of the Vedas, brahmachari. Austerity, everyone, each and everyone, but mostly brahmachari. Simplicity, everyone. Simplicity means that one is so simple that there is no duality, that there is no like personality which is hidden, and then it to the world it comes out something else. The person is not having any polarity in their personalities. It's same person inside and same outside. Srila Prabhupada is the best example, right? Non-violence. One is, okay, we do not give violence to any living entity, but also we don't commit violence to our soul by cultivating Krishna consciousness. Anyone who is not cultivating Krishna consciousness is cultivating violence. Atmaha. Isopnishad calls that individual as Atmaha, and that is Asura quality. Some people think that I am such a nice person. I am paying my taxes on time. I am raising my family so nicely. I am working so honestly. I am only living on the paycheck that I get. I don't get money from any illegal means. So I am a very nice person. No, not according to Bhagavad Gita, not according to Upanishad, not according to the Shastras. What are you doing about the soul? What are you doing about that? That makes one Sura or Asura. Truthfulness, freedom from anger, all these qualities you can go over. Each and every quality Prabhupada has explained in great detail who is supposed to have to what degree. And one who cultivates these, incomplete, not like I have one quality, I become like this. No, incomplete. That person is a person of divine nature. Okay, as we go detail in Krishna consciousness, we understand that how much away we are right now from the main goal. How much, when I study Bhagavad Gita every time, I feel like I'm so far away from what the reality is. Dambho, Darpo, Abhimanascha. So now Krishna is going to explain the symptoms of demoniac. He already gave the qualities of the Devata, the Sura. Now he's going to talk about Asura. Dambho, Darpo, Abhimanascha, Krodha, Parusyam, Evacha, Agyanam, Cha Abhijatasya, Partha, Sampad, Asurim. Arrogance, pride, anger, conceit, harshness, and ignorance. Okay, so these are the six qualities. These qualities belong to those of demoniac nature or son of Pritha. Arrogance, pride. See, generally, a living entity in this material world is roaming around to gain some praise, to gain something. It appears that we can gain something from this world. It does appear. The energy is very bewildering. But when we surrender to a spiritual master, the spiritual master can teach us that you are misguided. You, if you want to gain something, then gain something in alignment with Krishna. Gain the fame that you are a devotee of Krishna. That is the gain. And devotee of Krishna means everything. Doesn't mean that, okay, one cannot have a good education, one cannot have a good family, or one cannot have a good whatever job or business, whatever. But the real gain is there that devotee goes who is so rich but is a devotee of Krishna. That is a complete fame. Not like here you go, their net worth is this much. That's not a fame. It's not a fame. It's going to end. What is the use of getting that fame which has a beginning and an end when there is something which is eternal and is available? Don't be so miser. When you want something, then get it in completeness. Devi Sampad Vimokshaya Nibandhaya Asuri Mata Masucha Sampad Devim Abhijato Asi Pandava. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demoniac qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with divine qualities. So he's reassuring Arjuna that you are born with divine qualities. Okay, so transcendental qualities are conducive for liberation, whereas demoniac qualities make for bondage. Bondage means what? Bondage means that we stay here. We stay here. Either go to the heavenly planets, go to the hellish planets, stay in the earthly planet, but we stay here. We don't go anywhere. It appears, this is a description given in third chapter of Bhagavad Gita in one of the purports. I remember explaining to my advanced class that Prabhupada explains, like in the night when the clouds are moving in the sky, it appears that the moon is moving, right? Sometimes when you look at the sky, the clouds are moving, it looks like the moon is moving. Or let's say I am walking and it looks like the moon is walking with me, but the moon is not walking. Moon hasn't moved at all. It's fixed and it's on orbit. So similarly, the looks that I have made such a progress in my life from point A to point B. I took so much struggle. That's what is success. Definition of success in this life or in this world, right? That I was born with no assets. I was born so poor. I was born and I had no food also to eat. Whatever people say. From this point, now I am a multimillionaire, and people think that is a gain. It is like that, like I'm walking, the moon is moving, but the moon is not moving. The soul hasn't moved a bit. It has not moved a bit. Only the material nature is working with the living entity and is making it do like that. Okay, so really nothing has moved. Nothing. It appears it has moved, but it has not moved. We are in such a big optical illusory world. Oh, son of Pritha, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called the divine and the other called demoniac. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me of the demoniac. So very important, hear from me. You have to choose your audience. From where are you hearing? Hear from me. Okay, we are not a society of opinions. Srila Prabhupada was completely against. What is the value of my opinion? What is the value? Okay, so there is no value. So here from an authority. And what defines the authority? Parampara. Parampara. Like what is the bona fide parampara? So Krishna himself speaks through his representative. Let's say that the Prime Minister of India sends you a message through his messenger. That Mr. or Miss so and so, let's. I would like to meet you at for discussing this agenda. Sorry. Okay, the Prime Minister has not come, but he has sent a message through his messenger. So, will you value that message as if it has directly come from the Prime Minister, or will you doubt it? What will you do? You can write to me in the chat. What are you going to do? Are you going to value that message as it has really come from the Prime Minister, even though the messenger has brought it? Or are you going to doubt it when it has come? And you can check whether it's authoritative or not. You can check the seal, you can check everything, you can check the ID, whatever. Some people are writing it, they'll doubt it. So the doubting soul, and some people are writing value, most of them are writing value. We'll cross check it. Yeah, that's fine. You can cross check it. But after cross checking and satisfying your heart, will you accept it? Well, you'll doubt it because you think that you're not worth of being called for, right? That's the only reason for doubting. That's the only reason, because you're thinking you're not worth of being called for by the Prime Minister. But Krishna is not like that. Krishna wants us. Krishna sends a bona fide representative. Sanchaya Atma Vinashyati. Fourth chapter, Krishna explains. Sanchaya Atma, the doubting soul, Vinashyati, gets destroyed. Does not get any happiness in the material world. Forget about the happiness in the spiritual world. If somebody is very, very unhappy in their life, it automatically means, according to scriptures, that they are doubting everything. The questions are okay. Questions are okay if somebody is submissively inquiring, but doubting whether this answer is right or not, whether my question is right or not. Okay, so Krishna sends his messages through his messenger, bona fide. You can check it. That's why I always keep on telling you, check the authority, make your conviction based on some shastric reference, some acharya, some sadhu, not just I think. What is the value of thinking? There's no value. That is called pridelessness. When I submit that I actually don't know how to think, I actually don't know what my alignment of thoughts have to be like. Okay. Pravartim cha nivrittim cha jana na vidur asura na socham na api cha acharo na satyam teshu vidyate. So this is a demoniac person. Pravartim cha nivrittim cha, what to do and what not to do. Not, they don't know. Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness, na socham, na api cha acharo means proper behavior. Na socham, no cleanliness, na api cha acharo means no proper behavior. Not proper behavior, not truth, na satyam, teshu vidyate is found in them. It's not there. Okay, what is the value of today's education and today's job? Namanisha Prabhu once evaluated this with us, and it actually makes sense. Person goes through half of the life is gone in accumulating education. If somebody really wants to get nice education, it takes time. It takes time, about good amount. Like first, after school, after the high school is done, then it takes additional about 8 to 12 years, right? So 12 plus 8 to 12 years, so anywhere between 20 to 24 years of life. First, it's gone to accumulate some kind of a knowledge. Okay, so not 20, 18 years or 17 years somebody graduates, so 18 plus 8, 26 plus 4, 30. So about 26 to 30 years of age, person really starts their career. But what happens then they get a degree, and then they have to hunt for a job. There's always in this world a fear of job, of not getting a proper job. Okay, let's say they get a job, and then they are put in a building which looks like a prison for 8 hours or 12 hours a day. And in that building, Namanish Prabhu was telling us, because he's an IIT graduate, he used to work for Infosys. He said that then they make these breakout rooms, or break rooms, not breakout, break rooms. And in the break rooms they put this coffee machine and snacks. So a living entity, where is Krishna? We are telling no intoxication, including tea and coffee, and here you go. The whole business is, first of all, get locked up in this building for a good amount of your time throughout the day. And then if you get tired by working, then go and take some intoxicant. It's where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Very, very precarious situation. And the person thinks that I'm making such an advancement. The same situation can be used to make an advancement. I am not saying don't work. I am not saying don't go to college. Neither am I living a life like that myself. But the same situation can be used to make one Krishna conscious rather than looking something out there. You can work, but just collect, keep yourself in the center that I'm here only for this purpose. There's nothing else. Otherwise, this is the future. Friday night comes and then go to the bars and spend all the earnings that person earned all week and then get intoxicated, forget about everything, and then start all over from Monday again. This principle is called Bhogatyaga. Everything is explained in the scriptures. Uh, what is that book? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion, starts with this Bhogatyaga principle. Even in the introduction, forget about the chapter one, introduction itself, Rupa Goswami Prabhupada is talking about this Bhogatyaga. Bhoga means enjoy. And then Tyaga, renounce, enjoy, renounce this pendulum. Go here, go there, go here, go there. Where is the center? Where is the center? And then die. Asatyam apratishtham te jagat ahur anishwaram aparaspara sambhutam kim anyat kama hetukam. They say that this world is unreal, asatyam. They are living in this world and very much enjoying or trying to enjoy and making plans to enjoy. But then ultimately they say this is unreal. That there is no foundation and there is no God. Anishwaram, no foundation, no God in control. It is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. So that is the atheist. That's the definition of an atheist. This is 16.8. It defines who is an atheist. My counter argument is, why would one want to be an atheist when there is so much of knowledge available? You may have questions. Shastras answers all the questions. Get your questions answered. That's what Krishna also wants, to surrender with knowledge. That's why he's bringing up all these things. He does not want anyone to surrender. He does not want anyone to surrender with fanaticism. But the knowledge, at least have the bravery or have these this kind of a personality that, okay, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna at least go because these people look different. Krishna conscious people look different. Their behavior is different. They're also doing everything, but how come they are happily situated and I am going towards misery? What is the difference? What is the difference? Okay, don't. This is atheist, and they have a lot of followers. The atheists have a lot of followers. Yes, whatever you're saying. So, andha yathander upagiya mana. A blind man is leading another blind man. What is going to happen? Blind man has no direction. They don't know where they're going. And then they are the leader of another blind man. Then everyone is going to fall in the deep well. You want to take a chance? You can take a chance. You think you have a lot of time, or I think I have a lot of time? No. Talk to a person who is on their old age. Some of you are young, some of you are children, some of you are middle age, and some of you must be in the retired age. Now the younger generation, talk to the older generation, and share to what do they think about the time. Time is so relative. My spiritual master gave us a class on this. Time is not something which you see on the clock. It's so relative. When we are young, we think I have time. I can enjoy today and I can do this tomorrow. When we are in the middle age, we think I have time because I still have some responsibilities. And there comes the old age, and the person thinks, where did the time go? It happens. Okay? We don't have time. Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. This is scientist. So Prabhupada explains this very nicely. He said that anyway, everyone is dying. It's just a matter of time. Nobody is going to live forever. Just a matter of time. Today, tomorrow, or day after tomorrow, it's going to happen. Okay, but the scientist, rather than inventing something that can prolong the duration of life, what are they inventing? Nuclear bomb. So, what is nuclear bomb doing? Enhancing or increasing, expediting death. Anyway, that is going to happen, but they're expediting it by inventing nuclear bomb. Is that a proper invention? Is that a proper invention? That invention is a result of envy in the heart of a living entity. This is what enviousness does. It destroys themselves and it destroys everyone around. Envy is the reason. Imagine a world where everyone is Krishna conscious. I respect your existence as part and parcel of Krishna. You respect my existence as part and parcel of Krishna. And we live in that unity with a diversity. We maintain our nature, we maintain our inclination to serve Krishna, but we use it to serve Krishna together. Will there be a need for nuclear bomb? Please tell me. Please take a pause and think. Will there be a need? Right now, there is a war going on between the countries as who's going to possess most of the nuclear weapons. The president of United States of America carry a briefcase. You know that? They carry a briefcase in their hand with all the controls of nuclear bomb. And in case needed, the president just has to press one button. So will that? So what is this? What is that? So, will we have a world where we are going to have these bombs if there is Krishna in the center of that world? No. Why are these things coming up? Why are these things coming up? These things are coming up because of the enviousness. One country is sitting, when can I destroy the other? And this country is sitting, when can I destroy the other? Everywhere there is this cold war. We don't want patchwork. Patchwork means that uh, put up a different face, but inside maintain all these things. No. The demoniac taking shelter of insatiable lust, pride, and false prestige, and being thus illusioned are always sworn to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. They believe that to gratify the senses unto the end of life is the prime necessity of human civilization. Prime necessity of human civilization is work hard, enjoy hard. That's the agenda. Thus, there is no end to their anxiety. Being bound by hundreds and thousands of desires, by lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. Prabhupada said that break the pillar of sinful activities. Break the pillar. There are hundreds and thousands of sinful activities, but those sinful activities are standing on four pillars. Four pillars only: gambling, meat eating, intoxication, illicit relationships. When Prabhupada in ISKCON, he made the rule: if somebody wants to take initiation in ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, then they have to make a vow. Vow is different than a promise. Vow cannot be broken. Promise people break sometimes. Vow is something else. In front of the deities, in front of the sacrificial fire, in front of the Vaishnavas, in front of the spiritual master, make a vow because they're all witnessing. No gambling. Never. Gambling, what does it do? It takes away truthfulness from the heart of a living entity. No meat eating. What does meat eating do? It takes away the mercy. No intoxication, including tea and coffee. Why? Because intoxication takes away the austerity. The austerity part of the living entity is gone. No illicit relationship. What does the illicit relationship does? It makes one unclean. There's no cleanliness inside. The person will be very hard for that person to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra who is engaged into illicit relationships. The whole Kali Yuga is based on these four things. Parikshit Maharaj told Kali to live in these four things. So Prabhupada said, break the foundation. Okay, now one makes a vow, gets initiation. But if after initiation somebody does this anyway, by justifying the mind, then they are really not initiated in the essence. Really not initiated in the essence. Okay, so real initiation means make a vow. None of these ever. Krishna, I am on my way to you. I want to clear my account in this world. What is there? I will not gamble. I will not eat meat. There are so many things to eat. I will not take in any kind of intoxication, including tea and coffee, because that's not what the soul needs. I want to take care of the soul. My soul does not need a cup of tea or coffee. Prabhupada was in Africa. Okay, and Africa is one of the poor countries of the world. It's not a very rich country. Prabhupada saw that there is a lot of land there. But what are they growing? People are dying of starvation, malnutrition. But what are they growing? Coffee. He said that. He said in the lecture, I have heard it, that You will not die if you will not drink coffee. You will die if you don't eat grains. Why don't you eat grains? Why don't you grow grains? Why are you growing this? Okay, no, no, no. I want this. No, it's a want. It's not a need. We live to the need, not the want. Break the foundation. And if somebody, there is a way to break the foundation. It's not that difficult. Okay, it's not that difficult. And I get a very common question in the. Let me go back to the last slide one more time. I get a very common question about. Well, mind will justify. So I only drink 1 cup of tea a day. Well, there you go. The difference between you and Krishna is that 1 cup of tea. You want to walk that journey, throw that cup out of the window. Okay, become so much like confident. And meat eating. Well, I don't eat, I sell. And I go to preach. According to Manu Samhita, there are five people who are involved in the death of a living entity, and those five will get punished equally. I'm not saying this. I am not punishing anyone. Neither am I anyone's spiritual master. I am talking about what Shastras say. Okay, what are the five people? One who kills the animal, and then um, one who sells, and the third one who buys, and the fourth one who cooks, and the fifth one who eats. So these five people are equally going to be punished, equally responsible. I cannot say that I'm only selling, I'm not eating, I'm a pure vegetarian. No, no, no. You're responsible according to Manu Samhita. The demoniac person thinks, this is my one of my favorite dialogues. This is like a dialogue. The demoniac person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future. More and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him. And my other enemy will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, happy. I am the richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices, I shall give some charity, and I shall thus rejoice. I thus sh- and thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. Krishna is breaking the convictions. He's like bringing it up each and every little thing so that we can see with the lens that where we are. Hiranyakashipu, Kansa, Ravana, they had all these agendas. Big, big demons, not small demons of today. Big, big demons. But what happened? And they finally Krishna finished them. You see, following the regulatory principles is not easy just by wanting to follow them. It's not going to happen. Just because one wants to follow, they'll be able to follow. It's not going to happen. There is a lot of mercy factor. Mercy factor comes when we become sincere in the heart, and also by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If somebody is not chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, they will not be able to have these habits. If somebody is not yearning to chant, I have not chanted yet, I have not chanted yet, when will I chant? If that kind of a enthusiasm or lolium, that greed is not there, then it will be very difficult just to follow the principles. Thus, perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusions, one becomes too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and falls down into hell. Okay, Krishna is showing us the choice. Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger, the demon becomes envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in his own body and in the bodies of others, and blasphemes against the real religion. My God, right? This Krishna is situated in my own heart, and I become envious of him. Envy starts from Krishna, and then it goes to everyone else around the world. If I see someone and I feel envious, it automatically means that I am not yet Krishna conscious in its real sense. I need to work on that. It's not that about other person. It's not about the other person's qualities or their assets or whatever. It's about me and Krishna. Really, in a sense, that I have not gone to that Paramatma yet. That I'm still thinking that this person has this and this is what I want. And why does he or she have it? We don't see Krishna factor there. Devotee can see Krishna factor. The person has nothing. It's Krishna giving it or allowing it to have them, to allowing it um, for them to have it. This is Shishupal, right? Shishupal was born envious of Krishna. So this is Rajasuya festival. After Yudhishthira Maharaj was enthroned after Mahabharata, he performed Rajasuya festival. And Rajasuya sacrifice, unanimously Krishna was chosen as a benefactor of the sacrifice. But Shishupal was born envious. Shishupal was born with 4 hands. And his mother asked the astrologer, why 4 hands? He said, well, when you will see a person who is going to kill him, his 2 hands will fall off. So Shishupal's first birthday came, and his mother invited Krishna that please come for Krishna's birthday. And Krishna said, you don't want me to come, but he came. And when Shishupal in the cradle saw Krishna, his 2 hands fell off. So his mother told Krishna that, Krishna, you're gonna kill my baby. And Krishna said, what can I do? I mean, he's so envious of me. Shishupal, whenever he used to look at Krishna, he used to start swearing. Not talking, nothing, not greeting, just start swearing. Okay, now in this sacrificial arena, Shishupal entered. Now he is envious, he starts swearing. He enters with the sword and a shield only. No, now he starts swearing, and everyone is becoming restless because Krishna is the apple of everyone else's eyes. Everyone is becoming restless that how can you insult Krishna in such an assembly? So see, all these kings are getting ready to fight with him. But Krishna calms everyone down. Calm down, calm down. I'll take care of it. So Krishna gives Shishupal 100 chances. He said that he can swear at me at 100 times. If he goes beyond that, then I will take care of it. So Shishupal is swearing and Krishna is counting. 1, 10, 20. And Shishupal kept on swearing. 90, 94, 99, and 100. And then when it was going to be 101, Krishna releases Sudarshan Chakra and beheaded him. But the killing was in such a manner that not even a drop of blood fell on the floor because it was a sacrificial arena. Okay, now Krishna kills or Krishna maintains, it is the same thing. There is no duality because Krishna is absolute. That is the definition of absolute. Abhigyana swarat. Itiratascha artheshva abhigyana swarat. So, first canto, first chapter, first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Krishna actually showed mercy to Shishupal by taking away his life. Then he had to surrender to Krishna anyway. His soul entered the lotus feet of Krishna. So, because Krishna is apapa buddham, Krishna is like that sun. If I show whatever amount of impurity to the sun does not become impure, does it? Because I have shown such an amount of infection to the sun has now become diseased? No. Sun has such a potency that it will take away the disease, right? Similarly, Krishna is like that. Krishna is the origin of that sun. He's very pure. Whatever impurity comes in front of Krishna immediately becomes pure. Immediately. So Krishna was touched by Sudarshan Chakra of, Shishupal was touched by Sudarshan Chakra of Krishna. Immediately became pure and eligible to enter Krishna's world. Such is the mercy of Krishna. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are lowest among men, are cast by me into ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. Envy. What is the definition of envy? Let's revise. I have already discussed this. Anyone, please write it in the chat, or one of my admins can unmute and tell me what is the definition of envy. Yes, what is the definition of envy?
Hare Krishna, mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
So envy basically means I like something that the other person has, but I don't like the fact that he has it.
Very nice. Yes, that's my spiritual master's definition. I always propagate that because it makes so much sense. I like what you have, but I don't like the fact that you have it. So we are envious of Krishna. I like what Krishna has. I like his power, but I don't like the fact that Krishna has it. I should have it. That's envy. Okay, those who are envious and mischievous, who are lowest among men, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence and various demoniac species of life. Krishna says in 4th chapter, I am not partial to anyone. But here we can see that he's casting the envious and mischievous into the lower species of life. So one can misunderstand. It's a misunderstanding only. Saying that Krishna, you say you're not partial, but here you're showing a partiality. Krishna is not showing the partiality. Krishna is only being neutral. According to the activity that I do, I get that result. Krishna, if I don't do this activity, then I will not get that result. Krishna is not partial. Why are they casted into the hellish planets? Why are they casted into the demonic species? What seems to be the reason? The reason is purification. One at some point gets fed up. This is not the life I want to lead. That is purification. But I can change that right now. Attaining repeated birth among the species of demoniac life, such persons can never approach me. Gradually, they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. So, here is a word of caution: what to do, what not to do. If I want to go to Krishna, then Krishna does not like this, and it is not congenial for my own existence. So, don't do that. Rupa Mataji, you want to chant? I didn't ask you today, but you sing so well.
त्रिविधं नरकस्येतं द्वारं नाशनम् आत्मनः कामः क्रोधस्तथा लोभस्तस्माद् एतत्त्रयं त्यजेत्.
Very nice. You sing very well. Thank you. There are three gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. So three gates: lust, anger, greed. Okay, don't go there. Don't knock on the lust, anger, or greed. Or if it is very prominent in one's personality, then one has to learn the skill of doubting it for Krishna's service. If somebody is lusty, money, they want to possess so many things in life, then possess it for Krishna. Possess it. Anger, become angry. Use the weapon of anger. Anger is a weapon. It's a weapon. You have cutting knife in your house. Every house will have a cutting knife. Do you put your cutting knife out there in the drawing table, on the when the guests come to your house? Um, do you like give cutting knife the to everyone to every guest so that they can harm themselves? We don't do that, right? We don't show our knife to our guests or small children or all the family members. It's kept in a secure place. Why? Because it's a weapon. So anger is a weapon. It's a weapon. So anger has to be used when it is needed, like a weapon. Like somebody has a gun, somebody has a sword. We cannot just put it out there. Here you go, play with it. No, anger has to be used in a particular manner. But a person who is an anger, if it is not used in service of Krishna, then it is coming from the mode of ignorance. It is a product of mode of ignorance, wrath, greed. If somebody is very greedy, then become greedy to become Krishna conscious. That's the price one has to pay to become Krishna conscious. Let me ask this question here. Now this is a free course, but now we are in 16th chapter. I'm telling you, but there is a price one has to pay. One has to pay to become Krishna conscious. What is the price one has to pay to become Krishna conscious? What is the price? There is a price. Don't say it is priceless. There is a price. That is why I'm asking this question. So many people, I ask this question every time, they say there is no price. There is a price attached to everything. So, what is the price one has to pay to become Krishna conscious? You can raise your hand for this particular question, and I can ask one or two of you to unmute. Some people are writing to me. What is the price one has to pay to become Krishna conscious? Yes, Vidya Mirpuri Mataji.
Yes, one has to pay the price by being ready to give up all the lust, anger, greed, and things that Krishna doesn't like, and be like what he wants us to be.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Okay, what is the price? Yes, Gaurav Govardhan Das Prabhu, what is the price you are going to pay?
Hare Krishna Mataji. The price may be considered as like asking water from the dried rivers.
I'm
सूखी
sorry.
नदी से भी पानी मांग लेना, कृष्णा वो चीज मांगता है.
Can you simplify it? What is the price? What price are you paying?
Price I think means like जैसे संत saintly persons होते हैं, संत होते हैं.
हाँ.
हम उनके सामने जैसे कई बार कहते हैं जी हमारे पास इतना पैसा है, ये बताओ आपको क्या चाहिए. तो संतों के बारे में कहा जाता है कि वो तो सूखी नदी से भी पानी मांग लेते हैं, उनके सामने किसी चीज का अभिमान नहीं करना चाहिए। तो वो सिर्फ एक प्यार और नम्रता का भाव जो है वो कृष्णा मांगता है, और ऑनेस्टली जो उसने एक बार वचन कर दिए उसके वचनों पे चलना ही, दैट इज द कॉस्ट।
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Ranchot Krishna Das Prabhu. What is the price?
Yes, yeah, Srila Rupa Goswami has stated that ekamulam tatra lalyam, that the
Ah,
only one price is required, that you show your greediness to want Krishna immediately. That's
yes,
the
very
only
nice.
price you have to do.
I should not have muted. I should not have unmuted you because devotee. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Yes, tatra lalyam ekamulyam. What is the his 100% right. So what is the price one can pay? One actually you cannot pay anything. That's why we made the course free, because everyone is poor. What can you give to Krishna? So the price is your greed, intense greed. One is called greed and another is called lalyam. Lalyam means intense greed. One has to be intensely greedy to become Krishna conscious. That is the only price. Tatra lalyam eka mulyam. Intense greed. I want to do this. Intensely greedy. You know, greedy person is like this, right? I want this, I want this, I want this. That's what they call the greedy. That kitna greedy hai, how much they want, how much they want. They have so much. Like that, one has to be intensely greedy. Every situation in life, I'm going to become Krishna conscious, no matter what. That is the price. There is no other price. Okay, everything else is a byproduct. This happens, that happens, that's a byproduct. But the beginning is, Rupa Goswami Prabhupada explains, Tatra lalyam eka mulyam. Intensely greedy. The man who has escaped these three gates of hell. What are the three gates? Lust, anger, and greed. O son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus attains the supreme destination. So there is a action, there is a gyan. Gyan means knowledge, and there is a vigyan. Vigyan means application of knowledge. So person who has a knowledge, how are they? It's not that action speaks louder than words. Okay, study their life, not just the speech. That is how we surrender. We just don't go and surrender. Oh, you are such a good speaker, I'm going to surrender to you. No, study their life. Prabhupada said that when you actually want to surrender to a spiritual master, give 1 year. 1 year, study the spiritual master, and the spiritual master will also study you. And how much are we there for each other in terms of Krishna consciousness? So study. That is not that how are they applying this, how are they applying this knowledge in their life, how is their life structured around this, whatever talks they're giving in public, how much are they applying it in their own life. This is what Krishna is saying. They perform acts conducive to self-realization. You will not see any of those four regulated principles being broken in their life. If you see anything broken, then that's not the person. Keep moving. या शस्त्रा विधिम उत्सर्ज्य वर्तते कामकारितः न न सा सिद्धिम अवाप्नोति न सुखम न परम गतिम. 3 times na is there. But he who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims, they attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. So we still have a choice. Okay, we still have a choice that what do I want? If I want this perfection, happiness, supreme destination, then I have to align myself to cultivate this quality. If I want to go to hell, then this is quality. So there you go. You are at the junction. You have a choice. Tasma shastram pramanam te karya akarya karya karya vyavastitau gyatva shastra vidhu muktam karma kartum iharhasi. One should understand what is duty and what is not duty. Should word is used. It is not a mistake that the words are used like that. These are rules of communication. There are rules. Words like should, must have to, they are orders. They're orders. There is no non-negotiable instructions. One should understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act. So first understand and then act, so that he may be gradually elevated. Krishna knows we cannot all of a sudden be placed to an elevated platform. Gradually elevated. Each and every word is very powerful. Here I am doing whole chapter in like less than an hour, but in temple or in association of devotees or in my advanced class, we do one verse Each and every verse is discussed. Temple usually one verse a day, usually. And we discuss the whole verse. What is this? What is this? What is this? Okay, we get educated. This is what we did today. Transcendental and demoniac qualities. Okay, 6-1 from verse 1 to 6. Bhavanti, Sampad, Devyam. Two kinds of people are there, Sura and Asura. So he describes first the transcendental qualities and then he describes demoniac nature from verse 7 to 18. Dambho, Darpo, Abhimanascha. And then he describes that this is a result of a transcendental quality and this is a result of a demoniac quality. Result of demoniac activities and choice of elevation or degradation. And at the end, I have a choice. What do I want? Between 19 to 24 verse. Na sukham na param gatim. Krishna is not lacking servants. Krishna has millions and trillions. Everyone is serving Krishna. Everyone. But if I remember I told you in 11th chapter, Nimitta Matram Bhavya Savya Sachin, just become an instrument in the hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just become an instrument. And that will make my life perfect. So who is ready to be perfect? Anyway, so I would like to invite you to advanced course. I'm going to share this out all with you. We're going to be doing, you can feel free to join any of the groups. I do Isopnishad detail. There are 18 mantras plus one invocation, so 19 mantras in total. The course is going on since January, and we will catch up. We'll catch you up. Between me and my admins, will hold classes for you starting March 19th. This will be shared. This will be shared in your WhatsApp groups, and you'll be invited to join this group on WhatsApp if you want to continue with me. And then on Saturdays, I have only ladies only Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, only for ladies. That's a very special group. We are reading Bhagavatam there, teachings of Queen Kunti, between 7 to 8:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. This is only for ladies. That's a very special group because I invest a lot of energy in that group. We study and then we also learn principles of non-violent communication, and we also do operational and emotional check-in, and we also have a concept of buddy. Okay, there's a lot going on in that group. And then you can enjoy, please, if you are a lady, then only join that group. Otherwise, there's nothing for you over there. Sunday, everyone again is invited to study Krishna book, The Supreme Personality of Godhead, from 7 to 8:30 p.m. And I will also be sharing the links out for Namanishta Prabhu's advanced classes. If these times don't suit you, then you can join. Prabhu does way more than what I'm doing. I'm doing nothing. So you can even join Prabhu's classes. That's fine. Okay, so let's do some questions. I have 2 questions. What is Varnashram Dharma meant for? The first 1 to 3 verse, all the qualities, the 26 qualities that are described. To divide the society according to birth, to make progress in spiritual life and keep the society in a state of peace and prosperity, to become humble, to give rise to many religious cults. What is the reason for Varna and Ashrama? Varna-ashrama word is made of 2 things. Varna means occupational duty and Ashrama means spiritual status. So society order and spiritual order. So Varna is Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. Brahmachari, Grihastha, that's Ashrama. That's an ashram. Varna is... what is Varna? Kshatriya, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Yeah. That's Varna. Why Krishna made this? Chaturvidha Bhajante Mam. What do you think? Okay, 70% of the class is voted. All right, so I'm going to end the polling and share the results. So I am very glad finally in chapter 91% of the class is answering it correctly. To make progress in spiritual life and to keep the society in a state of peace and prosperity. This is the only reason. To divide the society according to the birth is demoniac. Krishna does not divide anyone according to the birth. What is the importance of the birth? If there was even a little bit of an importance given to the birth, then Prabhupada would have never come to the Western countries and started Krishna consciousness from here. Okay? Nothing. To become humble, that's a byproduct. The main reason is not that. To give rise to many religious cults, there are no, it's wrong. Okay, so one more. I think that was the only question. 1 second. So that was the only question I had. I don't have a video for today. I'll show tomorrow, maybe 2. We can make breakout room for 5 minutes. Then I have to leave. Sita Mataji, then I'll make you the host. Okay. So on dot 3 to 5 minutes, I'll bring you back. Sita Mataji, Anvya Mataji, Madhurani, and Rupa Mataji. Okay. So please 3 to 5 minutes. I think you can only take one question in the time. All right. So whoever is staying back, if you have a question for me, you can raise your hand. I have some emails to be replied to. I have not replied in last few days. I'm sorry. If you have a question for me, you can raise your hand if you're staying in the main room. Somebody's writing mind devices laws, but the high spirits of youth with heat of desires is like, what should we do for this, Mataji? Whatever you're writing, just chant Hare Krishna. You're not chanting. This thing is not going to come. Prabhupada sannyasi was 16 to 30 years of age. He was giving sannyas. Everything will happen. Yes, an association, proper association, proper chanting. Books, there's ABCDE, right? For Krishna consciousness, association, books, chanting, devotional service, and eating prasadam. This is a prescription. Aarti Tripathi Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Mataji, you're unmuted. You can speak. Aarti Tripathi Mataji. I'm going to keep moving. Vidya Mirpuri Mataji. Please unmute yourself.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna, would you be able to tell me the duty of us being in this human form? Like in the gist, what is our duty?
So what do you think what it is? We are in 16th chapter. What do you think from me you have gained? It could be wrong, Mataji. I'm not judging. I just want to know.
Like you just said a minute back, how to put it in words, like doing our chants, leading a spiritual and pure life the way Krishna likes it. And yes, offering everything to him, like having the prasadam. Of course, the main thing is the chants. And then based on the chants, as we gradually progress, then we can choose and lead our life in that manner. Is that something that I understand?
Yes, you understanding the principles. Yes, yeah, you're right. I mean, the only duty of a human being is to become Krishna conscious, because this is a chance. Human body is a chance given to go back to Krishna. And if I don't use that chance, then that's a very, very bad use of a bad bargain. Anyway, this bad bargain, we have obtained a human form of life. It's or a material body, not just human form, material body. It's already a result of something which I did against Krishna. So I want to use that bad bargain for the best thing that can possibly happen is I go back to Krishna. No more coming back to this world. Then how do I go about that? Athata Brahma Jigyasa. That's the duty. Explained in Vedanta Sutras. Athata Brahma Jigyasa. Now become curious to know who you are.
So that will also be linked with what we have to pay for Krishna. Meaning that we have to be so greedy of him that we can only focus on him alone. Is that so?
Yes, Mataji, because in actual sense, there is nothing other than Krishna. We think there is something other than Krishna, but there is nothing other than Krishna. This is what Shastras teach us. There is nothing other than Krishna. Krishna, okay, if I can imagine there is something, Krishna says, I'm in your heart. So the heart is beating, so I'm living. And the heart stops beating, I'll die. So what is there? Krishna was making me living, was giving me life. And then Krishna gives intelligence, Krishna gives memory, Krishna gives forgetfulness, Krishna gives life air, Krishna gives food to eat, Krishna gives place to live, Krishna gives power of digestion. What is Krishna? Is the taste of water. Right? Krishna is the duration of one's life. What other? So but we just have to become very, very realized. Jnana is one thing, application of knowledge is another thing. Yes, you're right. And it is, the journey is full of happiness.
Happiness or trials?
The journey is full of happiness. Even in the trial, there is happiness. There is if we try something in the material world, we may feel unhappy. But even if somebody tries Krishna consciousness, just tries. You have been sitting with me for now how many days? 16 days, right?
Times 2.
Yeah, times 2. Oh my God. See, so more than a month of your life you have given to me, right? How come you're sitting here? I don't know you. You don't know me personally. We don't know each other. But how come? There's something you're deriving. There's something that's making you happy here, right? That's why you're coming back.
Definitely, yes.
So even if you're trying right now, if you're thinking that you're in a trial period, that trial period itself gives such a nice happiness. Don't you feel happy?
Totally elevated and awesome. That's why I don't feel like leaving it. But yeah, I've taken twice. I still feel that I'm lacking. It's not enough. Like I need to take again and again and again to understand this Bhagavad Gita. As I said, the more I know it, the more it's kind of less. And then also you mentioned that Krishna also gives the forgetfulness. So when at times we fall, we forget, we make mistake, we can request him to help us at every step, right?
Right. Right. Accidental mistakes are forgiven. But if I am doing it consciously and thinking that I'll chant Hare Krishna and I'll be okay, then that's an offense. Accidental mistakes are okay. Krishna takes care of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Somebody is asking me about Garud Puran. I don't have Garud Puran. I only have Bhagavad Gita to give you. A sense of all the Puranas. I'm sorry, I don't have Garud Puran. I have heard about it. I have heard the story from Garud Puran, how soul leaves from senior devotees, but I don't have it. I'm sorry. Okay, Priya Mataji. Yes, Mataji. I'm going to bring everyone back. Hi, Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Go ahead.
Just in continuation to the earlier question about duty, I get the point that we have to do the spiritual quest for Krishna consciousness and be intensely greedy. But in the first few chapters, you also said Krishna said to Arjuna that as a Kshatriya, you have to fight. That's your duty. And the result you do it in name of Krishna. So in the material world, would we have any duty? We would do the spiritual service and be Krishna conscious. That is one part of the duty. But in the material world, do you also have a duty? Like for Arjuna, he said, you have to fight. That's your duty.
Mataji, the problem that we all face is that we separate. We separate. This is for Krishna and this is for me. This is for Krishna and this is for me. We separate, but Krishna does not separate. Okay, it's explained numerous times in Bhagavad Gita. There are two kinds of duties for a conditioned soul. One is called Swadharma and another is called Sanatan Dharma. Swadharma is a duty which one does for their own self, what you're saying. To me, to body, to bodily connections, to society, nation. Okay, that's okay, that's permitted. But one has to focus on the long-term goal. That's a short-term goal. What is the long-term goal? Because this Swadharma is going to end sooner or later. What is the long-term goal? Long-term goal is Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma means duty for the soul. Constitutionally, what is my duty? Now, the problem is that we are thinking that Krishna is telling Arjuna to fight so that Arjuna can enjoy. That's a byproduct. He's asking to surrender from Arjuna in this way. Arjuna is refusing to fight. He's actually refusing to do his duty because he's thinking that if he does not do his duty, then there will be no war. Right? That's what he's thinking. And then everyone will live happily, and I am the reason behind this war, and I don't want to kill anyone for my own sake. All these moral things are happening. Krishna says, but that's not what it is. You are a Kshatriya, your duty is to fight, but you fight in such a way that you fight on my order. And that fighting becomes a devotional service. That's no more a duty of a Kshatriya anymore. It's a devotional service. Fight on the order of Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
So, in just what I'm trying to say is that Swadharma or the bodily duties can also become a part of Sanatan Dharma or the duty of the soul if it is done with rules and regulations given by the scriptures. Did I make sense or did I confuse
Yes,
you?
yes. I think I got it now. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Sheetal Mataji, yes, Mataji, and then I will go.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Mataji, my question is, now we have all joined this beginner's course and having to listen to you every day, we have all started chanting the Mahamantra. Now,
Really?
after this course is over, like what would you suggest that how do we work towards making this a part of our life, everyday habit, so that once the course is over, we don't, get out of this good habit? Please suggest a way so that, it becomes a part of our daily routine.
Like
How do we
association,
work on it as a beginner?
everyone is a beginner, Mataji. I'm also a beginner. So,
Okay.
association, right? You're asking how to keep association.
Correct.
Because association is like fire. Why are we chanting? Because we are in association with each other. So, thank you for chanting, by the way. I'm very happy to learn that you are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Um, Mataji, that's why these advanced groups are there, which are hopefully never going to end,
Okay.
where you can join, especially the Sadhu Sangha group, where on Saturdays we meet, and you
Okay.
can make friends out of that group. There are like I encourage, like in this, let's say that there are 60-70 participants, and we only meet Saturdays, but then they make subgroups of like 6-7 people, and they keep in touch with each other. People from all over the world can be your friends in this journey, and they are. Is there anyone in my admins who is a part of any buddy group in Sadhu Sangha?
Yes,
Anvya
Mataji.
Mataji, Rupa Mataji, Priya Mataji, please tell what you do, Rupa Mataji.
We meet once a week and then we speak for 5-10 minutes. We share about our week and how we have been chanting, and then we also read a Kunti book or some verse from Brahma Samhita, and we also started reading Bhagavatam now. So we are in the second chapter. It's going on.
So,
It's
okay,
actually
so
helping us grow, and we also talk a lot about chanting, how we can help each other with our emotional blockages and stuff like that.
okay, so there you go, Mataji. You have ample opportunities.
But is this open to beginners who can newly join, or is this
Yes,
ongoing?
yes, it is open to beginners. Everyone is a beginner. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yes, it
Okay.
is open to beginners.
Will the details be shared, Mataji,
Yes,
on how
yes,
to join?
yes. You just have to click the button and join the WhatsApp group, and there you are. So,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Okay, Sita Mataji, I'm gonna make you this co-host. There is a question in the chat. In today's time, are sannyas ashram and vanaprastha ashram relevant? If yes, how to do it? Well, it is very relevant. As long as the human race is there, all these ashramas are relevant. But the problem is that who has that kind of a purity? There are sannyasis in ISKCON. They're all so, and Vanaprastha ashram is relevant. There are Vanaprasthas in ISKCON. I have seen, for example, Vishashika Prabhu, such a nice leader. He's Vanaprastha ashram. So it is very relevant. And how to do it? Now, how to do it is a big question. First of all, is are you ready to do it? Are you ready to follow the rules and regulations and serve Srila Prabhupada by dedicating your life? And if you are, then it becomes obviously visible as we advance in spiritual life. How can I do more and more for Krishna? How can I do more and more, more and more, more and more, and become more and more greedy? Mataji, it's a deep topic. Varnashrama is a deep topic. Prabhupada wanted to re-establish Varnashrama principles all over the world. He gave examples. It's still underway. 50 years ISKCON has been established, more than 50 years, but we haven't gotten to the Varnashrama yet. But he gave examples. He built farm communities all over the world. New Vrindavan, West Virginia, Gita Nagari in Pennsylvania, in America. Okay, Australia, the farm community. So he made farm communities, and he showed that how by keeping an agriculture and cow service, one can serve Krishna from Vaishya ashram, Vaishya Varna also. Vaishyas do that, right? Cow keeping, agriculture, banking, trading. He made sannyasis, showing that how a sannyasi can also become so highest order. He made brahmacharis, and he made grihasthas. And then there were some people who were helping others, so they are shudras. So everyone, so that's varnashram dharma, vision, that everyone is helping each other in their natural quality to serve Krishna. It is a very big topic in ISKCON at the current times. And if we can establish, he also made this prophecy that even if only 1% of the population of the world becomes Krishna conscious, that's enough. That's enough. Just 1% of the world. Okay. Okay. So Gaurav Govardhan Prabhu, you can ask your question to Sita Mataji. I will